This past May, to celebrate our graduation, my roommate and I decided to take a trip to New York City together. I caught the Keystone out of Lancaster to get there, riding in the X-Metroliner cab car.
Down under, they lose their ball eyes and their lip mouths in the night.
Stepping off the train in New York, I was greeted by the spectacular new Moynihan train hall, which was truly an upgrade from the old Penn Station.
So I got this blue spirulina smoothie at a rather hippie looking place back there. Let's see if it's good.
Passing through Washington Square Park, I visited Music Inn World Instruments in Greenwich Village, a favorite of Paul Simon. After taking a city bike from the Battery to Hudson Yards, which I neglected to film, I caught the number 7 train to Flushing in Queens. The 7 is also known as the International Express, as it stops in numerous ethnic neighborhoods on Long Island. The final stop in Flushing is smack in the middle of New York's largest Chinatown, where I enjoyed some amazing cheap eats. Returning to Manhattan on the 7, I met up with my roommate for a New York slice.
So apparently you can get a free mini cheesecake from Junior's if you have a vaccine card. And it's not very big, but it's quite dense, so it should be good.
Sledding down snow-covered slopes and frozen noses, frozen toes. The frozen city starts to glow, and yes, they know that it'll melt, and yes, they know New York will fall, but if you are a friend of any sort, then play along and catch a cold, then make it that.
To finish off the day, I caught the Port Authority Trans-Hudson, or PATH, train to Hoboken Terminal. PATH trains are separate from the city subway, and they run in 100-year-old tunnels under the Hudson to Hoboken, Jersey City, and Newark. Standing on the west bank of the Hudson, I caught some amazing views of the Manhattan skyline.
I love Paris in the rain. I love Paris in the rain. I love in the rain. Oh, I love Paris.
Good morning, New York. And good morning, free donut from Krispy Kreme with my vaccine card. Okay, so Batman makes sense here, because his mask only covers the upper half of his face. But Spider-Man's already wearing a mask. Wait. So this massive telecommunications hub was built to withstand a nuclear blast, and thus it has no windows. Not sure why they didn't just put it underground, but there you have it.
We headed to the Edge at Hudson Yards, New York's already iconic outdoor observation deck, which opened in March of 2020.
So this is the Chrysler Building, and at one point it was the tallest building in New York City. Now it's dwarfed by almost everything around it. So it turns out you can see the airports from here. There's LaGuardia over there. And way out there, JFK.
After walking along the High Line, an elevated freight railway converted into a linear park, we got Korean food for lunch and Chelsea Market.
I was supposed to be on that train. So an awesome thing about New York is that you can find food from pretty much any part of the world and get it within the hour that you crave it. Case in point, a Filipino dessert I've heard hyped up for years but never tried called halo halo. So verdict on halo halo. Definitely a very unique and strange and yummy little dessert. Wasn't entirely keen on the use of red beans.
Filipino dessert consumed, I met up with my roommate and we caught the B train to Brighton Beach in Brooklyn.
Russian food with Ilya. Say hi.
For my final morning in New York, I rented another city bike and biked around Central Park. Then it was time to head to my final destination, the UN headquarters, where a small protest was going on against the war in Ethiopia's Tigray region.
Act now! We demand peace for Tigray!
Heading into the Oculus, New York's most expensive train station, I caught a PATH train back to Newark, saying one last goodbye to the New York skyline. Then it was time for a convoluted transit adventure back home, featuring New Jersey Transit's Northeast Corridor line, New Jersey Transit's River line, PATCO, which I rode to Lindenwold and back, and finally SEPTA's Paoli-Thorndale line to Thorndale. Overall, I really enjoyed my time in New York City, and even though I shot way too many Instagram stories on this short trip, I'm glad I ended up having enough footage to make a full video.